All right, everybody, welcome back to our Genshin Impact live stream. We are here. We are ready to go. We are picking up where we last left off. So we actually had to do the Kazuha quest to continue our story here, but we're going to do the Inversion of Genesis. So, before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's jump right into it, shall we? So, I'm not sure how Kazuha is going to kind of get involved in all of this, but apparently he's going to. So, which is kind of a shame that they kind of like let you know, because now it's like, all right, well then maybe obviously there's gotta be something going on. But let's continue onward. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to Sumeru City. Sumeru? I don't know. I personally say Sumeru. That's just me. But, by the way, you guys, if you guys have questions about builds, teams, whatever, you guys let me know, and we'll work on it.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay! That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Teyvat Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Okay, but...
Did one of them just mention Teyvat Suna? But that's all the way in Inazuma! Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that?
Ah, there's the connection.
Going about their business.
There's the connection.
Maybe it really is just Paimon. Because people here are free to research pretty much anything. Great! Let's go find out what this Teyvat Suna mystery is all about.
All right.
I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
That's awkward. So you're looking for me?
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
That was such a gross look. What? I mean...
Oh, no, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Teyvat Suna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Ah, I see.
Awkward.
My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade. But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger, someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens? Seems kinda fishy to Paimon.
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! Did I get lucky!
Stop shouting!
Dude's way too excited.
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago. Even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Interesting.
Wait, so there are two missing people in this story now?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes, you really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this
guy's way too intense.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, seriously.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabuki Mono was not a human, but a puppet.
Interesting.
A puppet?
Shogun puppet that the Electro Archon made. Should be ruling Inazuma with her as we speak. It couldn't be her. Shogun puppet that the Electro Archon made should be ruling Inazuma. That has to be the ballad here, but what was he doing 400 years ago?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Yeah, we're not gonna tell you that though.
No! Wyman just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
So his book's about spooky events. I'm not reading that.
Oh, and please read my essay draft as well.
Jesus Christ. This is so long. Like, insanely long. I'm not reading any of that.
Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it.
That's just way, way too long.
Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
I mean, you could.
You don't have to just make stuff up. Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yeah, it sounds like a novel.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
I'll leave you to it.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay.
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh?
Probably
After
not.
all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, we did kick his butt.
If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Oh! What's wrong?
Did you see that? He literally just went by. Over there. It looked like... The balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Alright. Let's catch up with him. I had a name for him and I totally forgot what I was going to call him. I think I'm going to just call him Stanley. Alright. I know we have to name him, but I don't know... I really don't know what to call him.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah, it's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be laughed at? I know you must have a lot of questions. But please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? You sure you trust this?
Yeah, seriously, hold up.
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumera would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
I straight up would have killed you, buddy. I would have killed you in a second, just like how I would have killed Child if I had like the opportunity. If I had the opportunity to end Child, I would have took it. I would have ended him too.
Well, that escalated quickly. start, could I ask you all to please calm down?
What's up?
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
He did try to kill us.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us.
I'm gonna name him Scaradouche if he does that.
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Interesting.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Wait, so what about Child? Because Child lost. So he tossed you out like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
Alright, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes.
Huh.
As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that? Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Interesting.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him! I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Damn. Damn.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it. I'm still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help? I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Got it.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Oh man, this is a lot.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
He just sent me to babysit you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smart!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards, but right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Bro, I clapped you when you were a god, alright? Like,
Sounds
don't
like
even
a
bother.
successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Got it.
Fine. Let's call it truce, but only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
Oh, well, technically. I mean, he is much older.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
There's no need for all the biting sarcasm.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sapling? Look! Darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was expecting.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
This guy.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
I mean,
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Instantly start going backwards. I can't. I just wanted to start running around. Alright.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
Oh. Don't touch them.
It looks the same in every direction.
Space is indeed unusual, but it seems the Balladeer is more used to it than I am.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth.
I don't think he's ever actually lied to us.
Is he mocking me again? Well, what is it this time?
Jesus, Pylon.
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
It's the center of Irminsul. All the information in the world is flowing
Lesser
through it.
Lord Kusanali,
Good, we made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint. The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
Wow. He doesn't put any resistance. He seems good at working on the front line. Maybe he had a similar role in the Fatui. First Aquaba and Swada's story is now this. What a strange
The rest
individual.
is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do. Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Hida, this is a telepathic conversation.
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join. Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
Oh yeah, she's never gotten that before. I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while. Paimon's never tried this before. This is great. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
Yeah, he seems to excel at doing odd jobs for
As I
others.
told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
This is about his past, the betrayals, and other events in Inazuma.
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Thanks, yo. I appreciate it. Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things when I ran into Hypatia.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today. Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
God damn it, eh?
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that? If you mean the mysterious events, the kabuki mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that. Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought. Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone. So the Gese got it right? Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Damn. Damn.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
You have the right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
I mean, interesting.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Niwa was the man in charge of the Tarasuna. Plus, he belongs to the lineage of Ishin Art.
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose, they are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatarasuna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. He would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants. working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma, and it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate, and I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does.
Interesting.
Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Damn.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Dang.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Oh.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
You're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor
Interesting.
inconvenience for your nation.
That's it. That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa,
This guy's wild.
already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore!
Your homie's losing it.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
He was behind that Tarsuna incident.
But why did we see things from his perspective? When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. He knew very well what that means, even more so than I.
The betrayal was a lie that he believed for hundreds of years. Damn. The betrayal never happened, it existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
Yeah, let's go with her.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions. Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up? Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday, so now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject.
Damn.
After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process.
Interesting. The doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer and told him to enter the furnace.
The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back. Holy moly! So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure caused great resentment. Now we know what was behind the decision to take revenge on Rain Kokoden 100 years ago. But it doesn't really matter that vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Okay, buddy? No. A while later.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Yeah, right?
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
What comes from beyond this world? So we're not from Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Not unexpected, but still, thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
Wait. So, she wanted to go to Conria when she got here. And she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
Heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time.
Wait, what? The Jester was a royal mage in Conria, and he lived with Lumine? What?
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
Sure, what's up?
Give me your hand.
A little weird, but okay.
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
You trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
Damn. Wait, why would you ask that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
Wait, that look. Did he hesitate? Is it because I know about Greater Lord Rukadavara? No, it's because I know about Greater. No, it's because I know. Uh-oh, I think.
So long.
Oh, I couldn't read
I
that.
suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Why did I, like, move so quickly? Oh, that's so lame. Why couldn't I read that? Hold on, now I want to backtrack. I want to read what that said. That, like, just, like, instantly, like, just, like, decided, oh, yeah, you're not watching it anymore. Like, what?
Where are you going? Hey, wait up!
I even have auto
Still
off.
running off?
Balladeer, stop.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
And now instead it's gonna be Hat Guy.
Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. and I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Balladeer! Balladeer!
Hold on a second. I want to know what he said. He's got to... Hold on. We're going to rewind this real quick. 'Cause I need to know what he said. So, we said we were worried that he knew about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right? I get that. But... So we were talking to him. We were talking about... No, that's not it. Hold on. Yeah, like, it just, like, randomly, like, just, like, decided, okay, yeah, you're done reading this. That's so weird. Like, is it supposed to be hidden like that? Because, like, I didn't misclick or anything. Usually, like, usually you hear the sound of when you click. So, that's, like, the part that I don't quite get. So, I'm actually going to rewind it here so I can read it out for you guys, because, I mean, I'm sure you guys can just rewind it, but, it says, uh-oh, by not denying it immediately, I gave him the answer he's looking for. Got you. That's what it says. Interesting. Very interesting that they made that go away quickly.
Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
What's up, Void?
Oh no, he's really gone. Oh, can you hear me? Nahida! Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power. It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out. I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had? Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida. Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it.
Yeah, that is odd. Yeah, it is really weird, but it might have just been like to establish urgency, maybe? Or maybe it was just a glitch, I mean.
We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Alright, out of Irminsul we'll go.
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something? This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
I want to help.
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
She's like, listen, I gotta do some cool Archon God stuff. You just sit here and keep yourself entertained or something. See you.
An emergency? How bad is it? Nahida, will you be okay? Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe. Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Trying to remember Great Lord Rukkhadevata. That Balladeer's question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full. Truth might be very distressing for Paimon. I'll skip the part about Great Lord Gridwada for now. Yeah, don't even bother.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible.
Definitely not easy.
Right. You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it.
I mean, I guess it's a good example.
So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Ooh, Paimon's so confused.
Maybe he wants to erase himself from history? Are you okay?
Sorry, Paimon accidentally. It's the Paladier's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. But erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul?
I mean, I guess, because you could delete, like, if all the information's in Irminsul, maybe he wants to, like, destroy the information regarding himself? And that would, I guess, technically erase the past?
Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
If the Ballier does erase himself from Irminsul, many people in Inazuma will be affected. Worst case scenario, it'll affect everyone who has a connection to the ride in Gokuden. So Kazuha, Yaka, Ayato. I don't think... Would they all disappear?
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next?
No.
Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a week tonight.
Yeah, same, yeah.
So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munchkin grilled fish. Oh, and
No sticky honey roast? Disrespect.
pancakes, cream stew, sauteed matsutake,
Disrespect for the sticky honey roast.
and Dragon chili chicken, almond tofu, satisfying salad.
Disrespect.
Also Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp balls, triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and
The disrespect for the sticky honey roast is incredibly real right now.
what was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon certainly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again?
You started listing foods.
The Balladeer? Is that a food too?
There it is.
Weird name, though.
Paimon doesn't remember the Balladeer. That means he actually pulled it off. But how did he have that ability? That doesn't make any sense.
What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said?
No, it's nothing.
So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something.
If it is really happening, I need to know what else changed. Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
We're going back to Inazuma.
Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Let's get over there first. Are we gonna look for Kazuo? Alright, to Inazuma. I mean, I wish we bumped into Ayaka, but... Alright, let's come over here. Let me go to go. Yeah, he would also be affected by this too. The Smithy.
We made it! To Amanuma Smithy!
Ah, it's been a while.
Pardon me, I'd like to ask a question if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
About the Raiden Gokuden.
Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more.
Once more.
Renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions.
Okay.
Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now!
That was the quest we did yesterday.
We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too. It seems like such a shame.
What was the reason for their decline?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphan son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart,
Interesting.
the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to
take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life.
Interesting. So Ayaka's clan and Kazuha killed the guy.
That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
The Raiden Gokuden has changed. Someone else attacked the swordsmiths. Looks like the Baldur did something Nermisol, but it seems Niwa still died.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Have you seen Kazuha?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well.
Oh, he still exists. He's still the same Kazuha I know. He doesn't seem as bad as I feared.
My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
Alright. Now to the Yashiro Commission. So we know Kazuha's okay. I guess now we're gonna check on Ayaka.
This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while.
Hey, what's up?
If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Thanks. Can we take a walk in the
If it
courtyard?
were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should
I hardly think we're close with the Commissioner, but...
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say?
Ma'am, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you.
I'm telling you, man. Ayaka ends with Traveler. I'm calling it.
Would you like to know?
How are the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato these
Oh,
days?
they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy attending all kinds of meetings and occasionally paying visits to some local organizations on the Commissioner's behalf. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Yeah, still the Yashiro Commissioner. Ayaka's still the lady of the house. As far as I can see, no changes in the Yashiro Commission. Expecting as much, but it's still a big relief to know that Kamisato siblings are both safe and well.
Got any more questions?
That's all.
You're
Thanks.
very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that.
Yeah, fighting a lot of gods.
Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented
I'm telling you.
you are and how much she admires you.
I'm telling you.
I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato Sato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
I'm flattered.
Oh, I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most.
Wow.
Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention. It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady
Wow.
who will be delighted to have the pleasure of your company.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great.
Focus, Paimon.
Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
Wow.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next?
To Tarasuna.
Great! Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Alright.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Well, they're not here, so.
Everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
See ya. Xavier is busy completing the quest. What? Outlander Brigade. What? Oh my god. Are you serious? I need to do this side quest to continue the story? Oh my god. No, not like this. Not like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so funny. They need to add the thing that they did for Star Rail, where like you can just hit a button and it just switches the priority. Cause like I much rather prioritize. It's the 11th time I just don't get it. What's the problem? Problem is, performance just now was completely passionless. Wow. And you should be more patient. Use your voice to express the rich emotion. Wait a minute. Doesn't the casting call the script that was written by a famous writer? The story was said by a novel written by a renowned author. I'm very sorry for making you both go over this so many times. It's all the work for the sake of artistic perfection. Hold on, I only know one. And everything submitted to Yai, which else always get rejected. He wouldn't be accepted that So he started publishing his own novels, but not a single one sold in the end. Don't tell me we've been put through the ringer 11 times or something that guy wrote. Oh boy. So, what's up, buddy? Yeah. You can see, following the Seventh Samurai, finally came up a way to secure. So, he's shooting a movie. He's friends with the Ashura Commission, so you all know each other. That's right. He was the first friend I made in Inazuma. Alright. Well, it seems like Xavier's got some chops. We're pretty good friends. Even though I never said so, I, for my part, have considered you a true friend right from the start. Since we're friends, of course. And you're here right to post at this most dire moment, like an oasis in the deserts of Sumeru. Ironically enough, we have something to talk to you about Sumeru. Sure. I'll be the male lead in your movie. Okay. Oh my god. I'm not reading any of that. Alright. I don't want to do this. I just want to do the story quest. Why are you doing this to me? Alright. Go for it. I'm ready. This won't do. If this continues, we won't have a chance against them. We'll have to sacrifice ourselves. How did this happen? But I won't lose like this. Don't underestimate my resolve. You two need to go to the script. Next scene is between you two. We have a lot of battle scenes coming up, so you'll need to complete them with extras. Try to use the flashiest moves you got.
Let's get down to business.
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
Oh my god.
Grow. Speed of light. Right now. Right here. Emerge.
Oh my god. I don't like this angle at all.
Right here. Right now. A sight to behold.
It's so funny because it like doesn't
Right here.
it doesn't like fully understand like when you ult, like at least give me the handguards that come with it. I'm disappointing you both. The difference between the cruise shots and true film is it's a wine and apple cider. Oh wow. You're not giving me any emotion. How am I supposed to work with that? It's a crime. It's a crime against art. Wow. He pretty much said, hey, listen, you're pretty bad. But there's nothing more a few rehearsals can't fix. Wow. I share the sentiment. Why would these two characters suddenly sacrifice themselves and run off to where the enemy is? No matter how you look at it, it just doesn't make any sense. They're just dragging the main character down. As the end are so awkward, I feel embarrassed just reading them. I quit. Wow. Damn! Alright, well. It's okay, buddy. It's fine. I just confess when I lost the words. I'm going to the restaurant. Don't go to the restaurant. I need you for this quest though. Don't do that. I need you for the quest. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. I'm just Don't do this to me. Come back. I'm trying to finish this quest line. Why are you doing this to me? Please. Alright. Why? Why must I be forsaken like this? You found me. Yeah, Reek's a booster here. You're drunk, aren't you? Oh wait, I remember you saying you wanted to give up drinking. You gotta stay on that wagon, okay? When did I say that? Must have been a dream. Listen, yes, we were filming. Just need a little bit more experience. Don't hug us. A moment ago you were drunk as a skunk. Now you're taking advantage of to be chummy with us. I think you drank a little too much. The higher ups at Terry pushed it like it too much. They come out and say it. I refuse to accept this. This time I'll be doing my funding from Lord Commissar to make the film. My dearest, most adored good friend. You're closer to me than a sibling. Wow. I don't think we're that close, buddy. I'm not talking way out of here. I believe you. I would kiss you if I could, but I drank a smidge too much. Wow. Don't get the wrong idea. I think you're truly my most dearest and bestest friend. Wow. I order food from you, correct? Order come. I'll have some sushi, please. Being stingy with friends would damage my character. Understood. What of everything put over this table? Totally unnecessary. Come on, let's eat for our dreams. Oh my god. I don't care about your bad movie, bro. Thanks for your hospitality. Your Paimon's best friend. Wow. It was good. He doesn't have the money to pay this, does he? Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the film you mentioned sounds very interesting. Oh, come on. So this outlander has a resolve to stand up and fight when things get tough. Impressive. To be honest, there's a little hesitation involved there. That this person barely seems human at all. They meet an enemy they can't beat. They summon up the courage and charge anyway. You're still young. Take it you've never experienced such life-threatening situations. No, but this is the reason why my script has been criticized. And put it this way, is having an identical experience first strictly necessary to writing a good story? From what I understand, a great number of great authors are homebodies. So as I find this no-nonsense, sword-drawn approach very Inazuma-esque. Since I've come to Inazuma, I should make some films with the Inazuma flair. Wow. Oh boy. Staying in a restaurant. Wow. So, Paimon's just eating. He was born to samurai parents who worked for powerful people. His parents seemingly made a strong... unable to accept their deaths, remained toiled to find the samurai family that carried out the sentence. Truth be told, the responsible party did everything by the book. The family serving as executioner normally shouldn't be blamed sentenced. What does this guy have to do with this story? For now, I suppose the family is responsible for the plan. But by then, the person beheaded his parents and already passed. The person having to be sheltered from, but now they become enemies. Alright. Mama knows something awful is going to happen next. It doesn't matter if it's Masa Liwa or Inazuma. There's nothing new under the sun. People always lose themselves due to same old things. Suppose plenty of stories like this in Fontaine. I still think. So he tells him a story here. It's about some dude who like loses his parents or whatever. Don't know if I was lucky or unlucky. Dying of an illness, being killed both, and dying anyways. Or for the former repentant being revenged, the latter wouldn't need to lay low until they fell ill. Oh my god, this is so long. To this day, fretful matters, so his hate and shame should follow. Stuff. Oh my god, why is this so long? Sorry, but that's how I heard it ends. After all, it's a tale that's been spread. It's unavoidable. So is he gonna take this story and make it into a movie? Yep. Yeah, he's gonna make it into the movie. Oh my god, I just want him to free up so I can do this quest. Ugh. Over friend person. Good things. Surely await for you and Mr. Okay, can I do it now? Damn it. Nope. I tried. What's on your mind? I think I can write. Just tell me one more time. One day will suffice. Alright. So he's gonna write a new script. And then we're gonna go meet him at the tea house. Alright. Why do we want to go? Okay, actually, this might be enough. Perfect. I mean, there's probably a follow-up quest here then. Alright. Alright. Then let's fly over here. We'll go here. Now we can talk to Xavier.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something? Or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the traveler?
I don't remember his name his voice at all.
What are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
Wow.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
We were in an area, and then we moved to a different area, and...
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
How well do you understand the history of this
Like
area?
the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here.
Go on.
Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
So that part is still right.
Something about Tatarasuna?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Yeah, right.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
Listen, just go
What
with
brought
it.
this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
Pretty much.
Sure, go ahead.
So, have you ever heard of a Akimono connected to this? A
Kabuki
Kabuki Mono.
No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman, for those eccentric types who always go around. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a Kabuki Mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
Interesting. So there's no more Kabuki Mono. But I really managed to erase himself. Even if so, he wanted to change the world and revert everything back to the way it was. So, it looks like majority changes that only affect himself.
Of course.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a Ruka Teyvat situation.
We're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for.
Because it's very much like he's...
Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spino Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always
Spino
be there for
Crocodile.
you.
Thanks, Paimon.
Don't mention it. Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Alright, let's go back to the sanctuary. Alright, we'll go over here. Go over here.
Hey, it's them.
What's up?
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
So you're still talking about that essay?
If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
Sure, what's up?
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Still looking for more info about Tatara Suna, huh? Should we join them?
See research it in the past.
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress.
Can I read it again?
Oh, of course.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
You're not reading that. Genesis has changed another effective tampering with information in Soul. Ballard said he had erased 2 of his names if he really succeeded.
What do you think?
A masterpiece.
Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, he just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
Sure.
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
So we told him about the ride. Gokuden.
So many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
I mean, I guess.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Yeah, right? We got something to take care of. See you.
Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Alright, so now let's talk to Nahida. Whoops. Wrong button. Interesting. I didn't know that was the entrance. Like, at all, actually. Alright. Let's talk to you, Nahida, real quick.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? us this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the Balladeer.
Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Oh no.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Minahita doesn't remember, just like last time. Any changes to Irmin's soul affect her as well. Balladeer acted quickly. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the things that were erased. Once again, I'm the record keeper.
Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset.
There are things that have happened that only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. Got it. There once was one named the Balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He was a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Inazuma, the Balladeer, thinking he had been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for gods, he bore his grudge for years as he grew in strength, then returned to Inazuma to take his revenge. He tried in vain to become a deity with Gnosis, and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Irminsul and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing now that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable in an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past. But how was he even able to do that? As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality. So, you believe this person really existed, and we just don't remember him because, well, because he literally changed the world? Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond Teyvat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
You can say that again.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it? I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I'm not really sure. We were enemies after all. I don't know his perspective on all this, so I can't say what he did was something so extreme. Did he want to reset everything or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? Everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all. Maybe that's all there is to it. I still remember the question he asked me. He asked me specifically, and my hesitation gave him his answer. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Rukkhadevata erase her own existence, but I can't tell Nahida that. To put it another way, I know why the Balladeer was so sure it would work, but I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
You chose such a radical option, and yet...
Couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
Yep.
Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. His story makes sense. Every part of it. The Balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to connect with Irminsul. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself, even though he didn't have much strength left. Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
You changed the world so in many ways, and yet the dead still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? The betrayals in his life, or did he wish he never existed
Please
at all?
wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us. What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Surprisingly, the information is presented to you in a way that resembles a fairy tale.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
This matches everything I said.
I authored this record myself. Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something to do with the balladeer? When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else. Hold on. So this record survived from the past? Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes Teyvat, but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's what she said she had to do.
Incredible! What a great idea! And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. The now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave a heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin."
Interesting.
The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the and left the mountain for good. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
Interesting. I mean, that sums it up pretty nicely.
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered. It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke. The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better. This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along. Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later. Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head? You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits.
Alright.
It's really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Let's... Isn't he still here? Hold on a second. Before we end for today.
There's a few things I'd like to look into. You should go take a walk and try to unwind.
Okay, so there's no questioning. So before we end for today, I think we have some polls to take care of. Yes, we do. We have one poll, so... Alright. Nope. That would have been such a cool way to end. Damn. Alright, y'all. Well, everybody, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will do a part 2 tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, picking this up exactly where we left off. We're going to take a walk in the Grand Bazaar and probably wrap up this Inversion of Genesis. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, take care, be safe, make wise choices, And that's it for me, all. But I'll catch you savers later. Take care.